Hello there, my name is Cyril Aloysius, and of course you're welcome to join us on yet another interesting segment of the newspaper review right here on FAF TV for today, the second day of June 2022. And joining me in today's newspaper review is one of our very popular faces, someone who knows a thing or two about politics, someone who knows something, a lot about Nigerian politics, and by that person I mean Mr. Victor Sioku. Sir, you're welcome to join us.
Thank you.
All right, as usual, before we go straight to the business of the day, we'll go on a short break, and when we come back, all of the interesting headlines will be coming your way. You stay tuned, back after the short break.
Hey there, are you looking to record your videos, do your voiceovers and take your professional pictures? Look no further. With our state-of-the-art newsroom, photography, kitchen for our food content creators and exclusive children's studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Tharv Media give life to your dreams. Tharv Media, a slice of infotainment.
Right, you're welcome back from that short break. And the first paper we shall be looking at for today is This Day. And amongst the headlines in This Day for today, we have Presidency, APC still divided on zoning, Mole's options to face Atiku. APC still divided on zoning, Mole's options to face Atiku. Okay, and next in This Day, we have federal government. Disagreements among concessionaires delaying takeoff of $3.1 billion e-customs project. Disagreements amongst concessionaires delaying takeoff of $3.1 billion e-customs project. And next in This Day we have Buhari, Spanish King, canvass global cooperation to avert looming food crisis. That's on page 41 of This Day. And lastly, in This Day, we have Army denies involvement of soldiers in kidnap of Methodist Church Prelate. That's on page 10 of This Day. Okay, that's the much we can take in This Day. So, Mr. Victor, I don't know which of the headlines interest you to talk about.
I would love to talk about the army denying that they were involved with the prelates, the Methodist prelate kidnapping. So, fortunately for the army and the whole Nigeria, you find out that the man came out to publicly narrate how the events went through. So, and he stated that while this kidnapping was happening, that there was a military checkpoint not so far from where it occurred. That he wondered why they did not come, they did not put any energy to help him out. Okay, but I also think, personally, it might not just be a collaboration stuff with the army. I think those guys might just be on their own. Okay. Now down to his narration. He said that when they were coming down the hill at Umunochi, okay, this happened on Port Harcourt-Enugu Expressway. Okay, Port Harcourt-Enugu Expressway, you should know that it's from Port Harcourt down to Enugu. You know, it's a straight road. Okay, so you pass Aba, you pass Omahia, you pass Okigwe, then you head towards Enugu. But this time around, this event happened from just close to, not so far from the Omahia area of Abia State. So more like about, let's say, 20 kilometers between the tail end of Okigwe down to Omahia, Omunochi. So the prelate himself had already finished the service. He went for apostolic work. He had already finished the service. So he was going back to his base. So he was heading to the airport, to the Owerri airport, and that incident happened at Umunochi. So what did he even say? The shocking revelation there is that The persons involved are Fulanis. Not just Fulanis, but these persons are not Nigerians. They are not called Nigerians. So it still goes down to what are we even as a nation, as Nigeria? We can't even protect our borders. In fact, border is now a normal, as in anybody can walk in, especially the Fulanis. Why is it that we do not have strong enforcement to find out that people without documents should leave this country?
Because the way it is right now, it's almost like anybody can just walk in and walk out.
You cannot just open your borders, and because you are, I believe, a side of this country, okay, the northerners are more like open to any Fulani that enters this country.
Okay.
I don't know if you get my point.
Yes.
So it is now a culture that Fulanis will just come in and do whatever they want to do,
and go out.
Kill our people, destroy our farms, and nothing is done. We are not even talking about repatriation. No. Nigeria does not even talk about that. Now, these guys, this man said that, okay, they were a total of 8. And among the 8, he had about 5 Malians from Mali.
Okay.
That the leader, I think, from Sudan. So just imagine. In as much as, yes, the leader was, he was raised in Umuahia. Okay? Meaning, yes, after some years of staying in the country, you are supposed to get citizenship. But did they even come out the right way? Did they even come in the right way? So we should, our Ministry of Interior should, if Nigeria wants to, if they don't want this country to break into pieces, the Ministry of Interior should come out and work. It should come out and work, because from the look of things, find out that majority of this kidnapping happens with these Fulani people.
Yes.
And that is why, even if you come to the political space, there is now a very strong clamor that, see, that's why you can hear that Buhari is not from Nigeria, that he's a Fulani. We have Fulanis in Nigeria, but he is not in Nigeria. The same thing that they talked about Atiku Abubakar, that is not Nigeria. I think his own, they linked it to Cameroon, that is not from Nigeria. Okay? But yes, we understand that these people, these particular persons have one way or the other, our leaders our old leaders, they weren't able to put in structures together to make sure that, see, these are called Nigerians, these are not called Nigerians. Okay? So, what am I saying? Okay, in as much as the man, okay, look at how much they pay, 100 million naira. Whooping 100 million naira. And with what he was saying, there was so much fear that these persons, they were equipped, they had weapons, they had guns, they had knives. He said that the knife that, because he grew up in the north, he said that the knife these guys brought out, that they don't cut off a neck with that knife twice, just once you just slice, it goes. So these people, they even showed him a valley where they dump dead bodies. My brother, in this country, another citizen will come in and be terrorizing our people, and we are silent about it. It's really a shameful thing.
If it's happening this way,
that means we are not serious in this country.
Doesn't it, should I say, spark up some cause for alarm as regards the fact that, okay, these persons, if this sort of things are actually happening in the country, and up to now there is no much urgency to see to it that these persons are brought to book, doesn't it, should I say, give a pointer to the fact that these persons might actually be backed by persons in power in the country at the moment?
It's possible, because from what he was narrating, that there is a sponsor. Even the sponsor was talking with the head of the team,
okay, on
that day. Okay, and oh my God, the shocking revelation is that these guys are saying that they are going to bring their brothers from different sides of the country, from Kaduna, Zamfara, from the north, that are terrorizing the north already.
Wow.
That they will bring them down to the south. that all they are trying to do is to mop money, put money together, and move these guys down to the south. That they want to deal with the Igbos. I'm sorry, it's also, all this will also cause tension. More like drums of war. They are trumpeting violence, trumpeting disunity in the country.
Yes. And
you come to think of it, these guys are not Nigerians. They are not Nigerians.
Okay, Mr. Victor, let's not dwell much on that particular headline. But before we go straight to the next paper, please we'll go on a quick break. And when we return, we'll finish up the papers for you for today. Please stay with us.
Have you registered for your permanent voter's card? I mean, your PVC. There is a Nigeria we all seek. A place where love, peace, security, and unity can reign supreme.
Waste no time. We want a country where peace and justice will be the order of the day.
Unfortunately, there's a problem. One big challenge this generation has to solve.
Our country cries for help every day. We need able and capable hands to lead and direct.
These capable hands can be you. Have you gotten your PVC? Have you registered for the ongoing voting process? Don't say your vote does not count. Yes, it does.
Have you gotten your PVC? Your apathy towards Nigeria's electioneering process will further inhibit our collective growth and development as a nation. Your refusal to participate and engage will keep us at a standstill. So be intentional.
I have my PVC. Your votes, your voice would go a long way in preventing absolute destruction of this country and the future of our children, the hope of tomorrow.
The 2023 Nigerian elections are just around the corner. Go out and get heard. Don't forget, your vote, your voice.
This message is proudly brought to you by Thav Media Limited. Okay, you're welcome back to join us from that short break. And taking you straight now to our next paper for today, we shall be taking a look at the headlines in the Vanguard. And amongst the headlines in the Vanguard, we have APC stakeholders rail against Buhari's bid to pick successor. That's on page 5. And on page 13, we have hijab crisis. Kwara reopens Oyun Baptist High School. Okay, and next in the Vanguard, we have FG unwilling to deal with terrorist autumn. That's on page 13. FG unwilling to deal with terrorist autumn. That's on page 13. And next we have on page 7, we must rescue Nigeria from misrule of 7 years. According to article on page 8, it says we must rescue Nigeria from misrule of 7 years. Article saying on page 8 of the Vanguard. And lastly in the Vanguard, we shall be taking a look at a particular headline on page 6, where we have PDP delegate shares convention money with community members. PDP delegate shares convention money with community members. Okay, Mr. Victor, I don't know which of the headlines.
So I'll talk about the PDP delegates. Okay. At the end of the day, we will now know that it really happened. Okay. We have a witness that has showed that money was shared. And the very striking thing about this one, his name is Mr. Tanko. He's from Kaduna State. He came to his community. In fact, before leaving, he had already promised his community that when he's coming back, that the money that he will be returning with, he will share it across the people. He will pay school fees, he will pay hospital bills, and also buy WAEC forms, as in school start forms for NECO, for persons to come and write NECO. So, my brother, he came up with the money, and the money is amounting 7 million.
Wow.
And I bet you too, in as much as yes, he came out to such amount of money, I am also sure that he might also keep some for himself.
Definitely.
So if you ask me, this money might, some persons, if he has brought out 7 million, that means some persons must have made 10 million out of the whole.
Or how are we so sure that the actual amount is 7 million?
Okay, no, they announced it that 7 million. He has already spent 7 million for the for the gift and all that. Okay, even there's some market women, they bought stuff for them and all that. In fact, the man,
that's how much he spent.
Yes,
we're talking about how much he actually owns, like
for himself. Yes.
So,
So I'm ranging it around 10 million. And mind you, most of these delegates participated in the State House of Assembly, Federal House, gubernatorial, and presidential. 4. My brother, and so the money will just be rising up to the presidential. So we should stop, our politicians to stop playing with the people. Primary election is about money. You should forget about it. You will share money. Monies must be shared. This weekend, by the time APC goes for their presidential primaries, monies will also exchange hands. And it will happen more if the president does not come out to say, this is my preferred candidate. Everybody go for this. But if it's the so-called free and fair, you find that monies must exchange hands. Mr. Ntako has already made it known that see, it is inevitable in our democracy.
Even if the president comes out and says this is my preferred candidate, do you really think Nigerians at the moment will actually want to listen to him?
Mind you, it's not about Nigerians right now. It's about party members, party delegates.
Okay.
So it is all up to the general elections that we will now know whether Nigerians have
party delegates.
It's about party delegates.
Who are Nigerians?
My brother, party delegates, as it stands now, it's more like a contract job. It's not about being a Nigeria, because even the persons that voted you to become party delegates, they are still waiting for you to come back home with money and give them.
Okay. All right, we'll be taking a look at our next and last paper for today, and that is The Punch. And amongst the headlines in The Punch, we have on page 18, this one says, INEC laments low turnout, says 20 million PVCs unclaimed. INEC laments low turnout, says 20 million PVCs unclaimed. That's on page 18. And next we have APC Exco. Governors divided over Buhari's succession plan. Screening report ready. That's on page 2 of The Punch. And on page 4 and 5 we have couple, 3 children die in Ondo crash. 5 killed in Benue market. Couple, 3 children die in Ondo crash. 5 killed in Benue market. That's on page 4 and 5. And on page 4 and 5 as well, we have Okada riders desert Lagos roads. Police impound 140 motorcycles, arrest passengers. That's on 4 and 5 of The Punch. And lastly, in The Punch, we have Prelate's abduction. Prelate's abduction. Army denies complicity. Expert demand probe. That's on page 9, page 13, I beg your pardon, of The Punch. Okay, Mr. Victor, I don't know which of the headlines you want to talk about.
I will do just a bit of 2, okay?
Okay.
So let me start with the Okada ban, please, okay?
Okay.
You find out that, okay, I want to use this medium to tell our Lagosian viewers, persons living in Lagos, to please adopt this new regime of not having Okada on your routes, okay? Because yeah, I know making a change can be very difficult, okay? But at the long run, I believe they will come out victorious. The government,
you can't make a cake without breaking few eggs.
Yes,
you have to break some
the government of Lagos State, Governor Sanwo-Olu has already made the provisions to improve the waterways, trying to put in more boats and all that through the waterways. And yes, it will help because they have Lagos is blessed with water, okay, with waterways. But the problem I have there is they also need to check their safety regulations. Persons that are manning that office should come out, because some Lagosians, especially the boat riders, right? They can be so irresponsible, just like the Okada men.
Okay.
I've once encountered it and it wasn't palatable. Okay? So they should please find a way so that there will not be accidents on the waterways. Please, because you know it can be so fatal. Please. Okay. Secondly, let's talk about the APC and the ESCOs being against Buhari's plan for his
governors divided over Buhari's succession plan.
Yeah. So I believe from now till Saturday, some aspirants will step down. If Buhari is very serious about this, I believe a handful of aspirants will step down. They are waiting for the screening results to come out today. By the time screening results comes out and they come out to know the persons that have been screened, that have successfully passed the screening process, we will now know who will step down for the preferred candidate. Yes, some persons will not agree to that, okay, but I am very sure some persons will want to align with the president, knowing that by the time the party wins, and mind you, the president and the chairman are together on this. By the time the party, if the party goes ahead to win the general election, there will be settlements. And the party has already told them, see, your 100 million for buying these funds will be reimbursed. So calm down. And there are strong indications that these candidates will be blessed with a fat portfolio come 2023 if they win. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Victor, for your time on the show.
Thank you.
Today, we really do appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And as for you who has been watching us, who has been faithful to your screen, thank you so much for staying faithful till this time. Without you, we would not be here. But unfortunately, this is where we have to call it a wrap on today's segment of the newspaper review. Please don't forget that you can also be a part of this discussion. If you have any questions, you think you want to say anything, you can drop your comments in the comment section of any of our social media handles. You can also follow us on all our social media platforms. We're on YouTube, we are TAP TV. On Instagram, we are TAP TV_NG. On Facebook, we are TAP TV. And on Twitter, we are TAP TV. My name remains Cyril Aloysius, and this is where I have to call it a wrap on the show today. Until I come your way again next time, do have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye.